right, so I said I was going to make, I'm going to flip this a little bit so you can see it better. I said I was going to make cheater strawberry pies, and this is everything that I use, including the hair tie, because I have long hair, to make cheater strawberry pies. So I'll show you how I do it. It's really simple, really easy. You may already know how to do this, but on a night where I want to have dessert, but it's a busy day and I have a lot to get done, yes, I like to do a lot of cooking from scratch, but this is a nice way to bake something for my family, and yet it's simple and easy and I don't have to take a lot of time and trouble, but I do give it a few of my own touches. Okay, so first and most importantly, when making dessert for your family and you have long hair like mine, hair tie. It's a must. Gotta have one. Nobody wants hair in their food. Messy ponytail is fine. Brush it out later. But yeah, hair tie. Don't forget it. Okay, so I have 2 pie pans, and these are pre-made pie crusts that I use. You can get them anywhere. I don't have a specific brand that I use at this point. All right, so it's best if these are at room temperature. I keep them frozen, and then you can thaw them in your refrigerator and then set them out for, I'd say, about an hour. If you don't, they break, they can get slimy. You want to press it in really good down along the sides, and then you're going to trim all of this first crust off. That's what it should look like when you've trimmed the edges off. And I literally just use a knife and slide it around the edge of the pie tin, and that works really good. So there's your bottom crust, and then you're going to pour in your strawberry filling. I just use a spatula and distribute my strawberry evenly. And you can make a deep dish. You either need a larger can than what I'm using. I'm using a 5-ounce can, or you can use 2 cans and make a deep dish. But if you're going to do that, I would suggest a deeper pie than just one of these little shallow ones. And then we're going to add the top crust now. And you just lay your top crust over your bottom crust, and then you're going to fold these sides, and I'm going to see if I can do it one-handed, but you're going to fold them under that bottom crust just like this all the way around. Once you're done, it'll look something like this, and then you're going to make it look pretty by just taking your thumb. You can take a fork too, but I like the way the thumb looks, and you're just going to, I kind of hold mine diagonally and go all the way around till you've made a pretty crust. It should look just like that when you're done. Gives you a nice decorative edge, and then you're going to cut some air slits in the top. I usually do 4. You can do a design. You can cut some of the crust out in the middle. I've used cookie cutters, but if you're going to do that before you put the actual crust on the top. Once you have your air holes, that's what our sugar's for. So you're just going to take a little bit of sugar. I usually take, I don't know, maybe this much in my hand, and then I'll just kind of sprinkle it on there. Just a little bit, maybe not that much, put the rest back. And then gently, because you don't want to poke through your crust, but you're going to rub it on the top. I don't use egg white or anything to do this. I just use the plain sugar because the dough is still moist enough that it holds on to it. And I just like how it comes out with a really pretty color then. And I'm going to put some around the edge of the crust too. Kind of brush it up there onto the edge of the crust. Give it a nice sweet flavor. And I do that all the way around my pie. But do not forget your air holes, because your pie will come out bubbly and look really funny. It's going to come out nice and pretty with your air holes in there and the sugar on it. And then we're going to add some tin foil around the edges. And I won't take those off until about 10 minutes before the cooking time's done. For my crust protector, I use 4 strips of tin foil for each pie, about this wide. And I'm going to just wrap them around, kind of crinkle them like this, all the way around the pie. And you'll need 4 strips to do that. It'll look something like this when you're done. And like I said, about 10 minutes before you're finished cooking, you're going to want to remove those. This just stops your crust from baking faster, or your edges from baking faster than the inside crust. And it'll come out beautiful and golden brown. And then you want to remove those about 10 minutes before so that the crust has time to darken up a little bit on the edges. And now we're just going to pop them in. All right, so they're in the oven and my timer is set for 35 minutes. They're actually gonna bake for 45, but that gives me time to get the tinfoil off and then let them bake for their last 10 minutes. All right, so I have my pies in the refrigerator cooling and they turned out beautiful.